So y'all remember the movie Takers? What was the plot? Exactly. The plot was they all fine. Stay tuned. This is a problem. All right, welcome back to another episode of Claire here. We are on our way out with the Pretty Privilege Volume 2, Episode 2, Episode 8. It's been so long. Episode 8. So today we're talking about Pretty Privilege in movies. I am dressed in honor of Catwoman, another movie that made no sense, but we watched it because it's Halle Berry and leather. So we're going to be talking about how people use good looks to sell movies, and we're going to be talking about the overall effect of on the actor, overall effect on the box office hits. But let's talk about, once again, pretty privilege is basically when you use your looks and the halo effect to make people feel a positive emotion enough to go buy tickets. So first things first. So the movie Gladiator, I saw the preview for it, and I quote, I have in the comments, I don't care what the movie is about, Gladiator. As long as Denzel fine self is in it, I'm watching it. I also have recently, with the Acolyte with Manny Jacinto, Osha, and Kimir, or whatever you say, ooh, I want to go to the dark side now. I want to watch The War of Stars. Also, I have on here too. I have on here too as well. I don't even know what Good Girls is about. I just want to stare at Manny Montana all day. These are perfect examples of the fact that we are visual creatures first and intellectual second, because a lot of movies would not have the success, and we'll talk about Takers in a little bit, and Catwoman. A lot of movies would not have the success if these people did not look good. So let's go into this first part, is what makes a movie star. So to me, I have what makes a movie star is talent, positivity, looks, and it factor. Okay? So I feel like with society increasing this pressure, increasing this push on looking good, I feel like we're gonna start getting more and more movies that they're visually appealing, but they can't act. Okay? I see it happening. You heard it here first. In 2024, on July 17th, you heard it here first. I feel like the quality of movies, if it's already not low now, is going to decrease and decrease, because so many people are watching stuff just because a person looks good. And these people need to stop doing that. And I feel like the lack of talent makes sense, because if you're just solely going off of looks, you don't care if this person can act. You don't. Like, I literally was watching, I forgot what movie it was, but I was literally watching a movie, and at one point I was just like, if this person was not attractive, would I be watching it? Probably not. There's just this level of hypocrisy within myself as well. Like, I'm not gonna hold you for too long. Like, there's certain movies that I personally see they be fine with a side of plot, and we're working on it. But some of the best movies I've watched, like I said, Pride and Prejudice will always be my favorite movie, with Keira Knightley and McCallum. I can't say his last name, but it's one of my favorite movies. I have the DVD for it, and they're both good looking, but it was just that their characters were so encompassing that the chemistry made both of them look amazing, and I feel like he's handsome. Keira Knightley is a beauty, of course, but something about the fact that I really feel like the best actor got the role. Now I feel like it's a modeling contest. Like, now, of course, on average, most movie stars are amazing looking anyways. I haven't noticed that most movie stars are literally good looking, almost like AI, like almost unbelievably good looking. But there's a reason for that, because like I said, we are visual first and intellectual second. So I don't know. I am nervous about the future movies coming up, that I feel like just only good looking people are going to be able to act, which visually that's okay. But like now it's kind of like, once you get past the looks, just like, this plot's not good. It's not good at all. So We're gonna do movie examples. So I want to take you guys back. So basically, Takers. Do y'all remember Takers? I do. Do you remember the plot? I don't. Like so many. They literally sat there. This is 2010. All right. Hormones were running high. I remember this movie being so good. I was like, they need to make this movie into a sequel. When I look back at it, like today, if you have time, I want to say it's on Netflix. And I look back at it, Takers there wasn't even a plot. It was just fine. Like, they literally got one from every race. It was crazy. It's like they literally got one from every race. It was like, okay, we're gonna trick them into y'all. We're gonna trick them into watching this movie. It worked because I really looked on here. What is the plot? There is no plot, but the budget was $32 million and it made $70 million adjusted for taxes, and promotion and marketing. But they didn't even really make the money back. But the fact that 70 million of you said, "Let's watch this," let's watch this, okay, or like that showed you the power of looking good. Like 70 million of you was just like, oh, let's watch that movie with Hayden Christensen and them. They fine. That was the plot. There was no I literally have no character development. If this movie was released today, it probably would have made millions, like full on millions. If they sat there and got like the most finest men from everybody who's around and put them in one movie, I promise you today, like this movie would have made bank. Because look what happened with what is it? The one that was J-Lo where they were Go-Go dolls. My brain will re-break it out. But that movie made money too. Didn't make any sense. All right, so now we're doing Catwoman. Okay, Catwoman was released in 2004. Now this one, the budget was 100 million, only made 82 million. This made sense because even though, you know, having Halle Berry in complete leather, looking good, respectfully, that made sense, but the plot made no sense. And I also felt like because it was part of 2004, put your mindset, the comics weren't big yet, okay? The comic movies weren't big yet. We did have Iron Man around that time. We had a lot of other small movies. The X-Men series was already out. Like, we had these movies already out, but like it wasn't as big as it is now. But I don't know how it would fare now. It's like a toss-up, but like the movie made no sense. It had Benjamin Bratt. He fine. I have on here Raspberry Awards. So she had the Golden Raspberry Award, basically worst actress, worst costume, like that. Wait, no. They said worst actress, worst screenplay. No one said costume design. No one said costume design. But there was just looking back at Catwoman, like I also remember the movie as being amazing. This was 2004. People still watched it, even though it added nothing to the DC world. Like I can't sit there and think, oh my god, I'm so glad they had Catwoman out. Of course, you know they've had their variations of Catwoman. You know, Rest in Heaven, Eartha Kitt, one of the best Catwomans. And Michelle Pfeiffer, she ate down. Give her credit. But I do feel like if it wasn't Halle Berry, this movie wouldn't have even charted. It would have been like they would have actually charged people to, like, we would have charged them to go watch the movie. But you think of Halle Berry, like I said, 2004, she was untouchable. You know, she's a Bond girl. She was Halle Berry. She is still Halle Berry. She's still that girl. But I do feel like we need to talk about the fact that these movies have no plots. Like, they have no plots. There's nothing you can follow. There's no reason for there to be a sequel. Like, no one, I've never heard people say, hey, do y'all want to have a sequel of Catwoman 2 with Halle Berry? No one said that. No one has said these words. Like, no one has said it. It's known as one of her worst movies she ever did. But the thing about it is that I didn't hear any complaints about she wasn't looking good. Because if you notice, they didn't say nothing about costume design, okay? But I just feel like they really thought they could float off the back that it's Halle Berry, people are going to see it, and they was right. It made $82 million, okay? Made no sense. The CGI was that of a child. I don't see where this movie would, I don't see how this even made it across the cutting room floor. But like I said, with the push for looks, I promise you, if it was like nowadays, like if Halle Berry would have released this nowadays as Catwoman, especially with the demographic preferring older women now. I don't know how it might actually do well, but either way, no plot. So the final section, we're going to use the past 5 minutes to talk about empirical data. Is there enough proof? Is there enough proof to see that pretty privilege equals money? Like, is there enough proof to show that someone being attractive is going to increase sales? Like I said, like, I literally started watching Good Girls because Manny Montana is too good looking for her. Like, this period, he's just too good looking. I literally started watching Good Girls just for that. I literally started watching Good Girls just for that. Like, I didn't watch for anything else. Like, yes, I love Christina Hendricks, we love Ruby, but I didn't have any other excuse. Like, I don't even know what they're about. But then, like, once I started watching the show, I was like, oh, actually, this is not bad. And I know I'm not crazy because whenever they show a preview, whenever they would show a preview of the new season, they always showed Manny they always showed Rio, even though he was only like in every other episode, maybe for 10 or 5 minutes here. Like, I can say I can literally, if I put all his parts together from all their seasons, I don't even think it would touch 2 hours. Like, he's always been a side character. Fun fact, Manny has always been a side character. He was never part of the main cast. Y'all know that, right? You see what happens when somebody's that fine? It don't make no sense. Like, he was never part of the full cast. Vice versa. Is there enough data? Like, is there enough data to show that if we sit there and cast somebody who's attractive, people are going to watch the movie? Like, that's the main thing. Like, are we going to watch the movie? Because nowadays, like I said before, like, people don't watch movies anymore. I feel like I've done surveys at work just verbally and say, hey, when was the last time you saw a movie? Even the people who don't have kids, because, you know, if you have kids, the movies are out. But even people who have kids, like, they can't confirm, like, hey, like, who don't have kids are just like, oh, I don't really feel like there's a movie that's enticed me enough to go, you know? So I think there's that aspect as well, that, like, is there a movie big enough or good enough for me to sit there and want to go watch it? That's the main thing. I have on here is that maybe we should go back to hiring talent. Sorry, I couldn't even get that down. Okay, I'm gonna try again. Okay. Maybe we should start hiring talent again, like actually auditioning people, no matter what they look like. Now, there is typecast, and that's a whole different video. A whole completely different video is typecasting, but I do feel like there is this need for talent. Like, something about when you finally see like two people who are talented, per example. I have a chemistry issue. Okay, I have a chemistry issue. So there's been plenty of movies I've watched where like one actor is carrying everything. They're carrying the entire chemistry. Like with Good Girls, like I feel like Christina and Manny, I'm using people's names like I know them. With Christina and Manny, I feel like they both are carrying, they're both screen stealers. Like when they come on the screen, we naturally pay attention. That is what we call a screen stealer. That is someone who has an it factor. It's someone who is going to maintain your attention enough for you to not only watch the movie, but spread it to other people for them to watch. Like I said, women were definitely like words of mouth. Hey, did you see this? Did you see that? Like I've seen more edits of Osha. I've seen more edits of Manny, Jacinto, and Manla. More edits of them than the actual plot of The Acolyte. And I've watched, and I'm a Star Wars girly, and I've seen more edits of them than anything this week. I'm gonna say this doesn't make any sense. It has nothing to do with the plot. He's in there for like 5 minutes, but I have on here too. We watch movie with our eyes, and the classics were classics because of the emotion. And like I said, Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorite movies. And like I said, like I think they're both attractive, but if Pride and Prejudice was released today, I don't think it would have hit the same way. I don't, because Keira Knightley is beautiful, but she's not TikTok pretty, you know? And then Mr. Dulce is very handsome. He has like the perfect amount of chest hair. I don't know how to describe it, but he's very handsome, but he is not TikTok pretty. So TikTok pretty would be Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet. Like that would be TikTok pretty. Basically, like I don't know how to describe it. Not because they're younger. Like I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know how to describe it. But I don't think it would hit the same. But like their talent gave me goosebumps. Like, do you know how much talent you have to portray tension on screen and it not look cringy. Because a lot of people think tension is just like, that's not tension, you're constipated. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's not tension to me. Like, tension is like, you can feel, I feel it through the screen. Like, when I was watching Pride and Prejudice, like, I was just like, am I interrupting? Like, the scene and the scene, if I didn't have to fight copyright, I would show y'all. But I'll show a snippet, I'll show a picture. But the scene when Mr. Darcy is talking to Elizabeth in the rain, look at my arm. Look, the goosebumps are right there. You can see them. Like, that scene really to this day, and that movie was released almost 20 years ago. It was released almost 20 years ago. My heart's still pattering. Like the emotion, the chemistry, like that level of chemistry and emotion is just a whole different level. Like, that's why I say, like, we have to really make a choice soon, because like I said, these movie ticket sales are only declining, and like I said, the people who have the buying power are getting older. So right now, the people who have the buying power are Gen X, baby boomers are retiring, thank God. Gen X and millennials and some Gen Zenians, but soon, like, Generation Alpha. What is Generation Alpha? What is Generation Alpha is 1995, carry this, 2010. Generation Alpha should be about 15 years old now, the eldest of them. So I feel like they're starting to get buying power. So once they want to go see the movies, like, what are they going to watch? What are they going to be enticed to watch? They're going to be enticed to watch someone who's good looking. They're going to be enticed to watch talent. So it's definitely a question to bring up, to these movie producers, to see what is going to bring people in to watch. But definitely, if you disagree, if you want to watch Takers again for research purposes, Catwoman for research purposes again, they are both on Netflix and Hulu. But don't forget to subscribe, share. It's Claire here. Meow.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.